you asked me. I really appreciate this, that you invited me to be on this platform. You're such a powerhouse, and you are going places and doing things, and you know, getting yourself known worldwide as an inspirational speaker. How amazing! And we were just talking about how I was sharing with you that a few years back, the idea of public speaking just made my heart jump out of my chest and my brain
Mm.
freeze up, right? I was like, as Les Brown says, I would stand up and my brain would sit down. And what led me to be part of the Power Voice system is because of my business. I wanted to be able to, a big part of what I do is share my story. And so I wanted to be able to do that, and I didn't have the confidence. And being part of, I just didn't. And being part of that group, being part of that class, learning from Les Brown was like a phenomenal experience.
Isn't it though?
I Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's just absolutely incredible and inspiring. And so getting to be part of that group, and one of the things that he says is OQP, right? Only quality
Only
people.
quality people.
And I have met, I have been working so on myself, but I've also drawn to me, I think, some incredibly quality people such as yourself.
Thank you for that. I have, in sitting in those Wednesday afternoon classes, I have been amazed at how he could take, and some of the stories were really, really interesting, significant. But some of the the more mundane stories, like what I believe is my life story, how he was able to take the struggles that we've each individually gone through and using the tools, asking us, okay, so what did you learn from that? What did you do to get through that? How did you handle it? And then taking just a few pieces of what I thought was sometimes meager information and turning it into an interesting presentation that is worthy of being heard by anybody, anywhere. I mean, on the fly, presentations ready for the big stage.
Yeah. Yeah, amazing. I mean, and one of the things in going back to looking through a struggle and looking at how did you get through it
Mhm.
is helping yourself to realize I have the tools.
Yeah, yeah.
I can do this. This isn't something I'm inventing right now.
Hmm.
I have it. It's inside of me. It's within my reach to get through this. And whatever it was that I went through has made me stronger, has
Wow.
made me able to, I mean, what it is I'm going through right now, whatever it is you're going through, you're developing the tools to get to the next, and because I really believe God only gives you what you can handle, right?
Hmm.
And so you're handling this, and and you're getting to a level where you can handle the next thing, and you can pass that on.
Wow.
We were talking about the what are our goals for 2021. And I was saying my goal, my coach, Peter Pasetto, shout out to Peter,
Hmm.
Active Choices Coaching, encouraged me last year to choose a word for the year, and I chose the word growth.
Wow.
It just that was the word that, as soon as he asked me, that was what came to me. And this was in January. This was before anything that happened in our world in 2020. Um and but I'll tell you, Cassandra, it didn't, all the things that happened in 2020, I mean, so much respect and sympathy to what people went through.
Hmm.
I was so, I had so much growth. It
Yeah.
was incredible. I mean, that was the year that my business grew. That was the year that I was led to the Power Voice system.
Hmm.
I've got some other coaching that I'm working with through Fraser Brooks right now. That is, shout out to Fraser. That is just absolutely incredible. So, having that intention, and it allowed me to, every time I was making a decision of, did I want to do this or did I want to do this? Well, this helped me grow,
Mm.
you know? So
Wow.
my word, it really, it was profound to me how much impact it had on my year. And
Mm.
my word for this year, when I was asked to do the same thing, I very quickly chose the word mentor
Okay. Now, is that for
because
you to be a mentor or for you to obtain a mentor or both ways?
to mentor to so yeah, so as a verb, I guess.
Mhm.
um so and a big part of that is because since I started on this personal development journey, which was when I got into the industry of
Mhm.
network marketing, probably was the first really dove in. Network marketing is heavy on personal development because it's
Yes.
all about your own belief in yourself.
Yes.
And so
A lot of
since
people just to deal with that, just that phrase, your own belief in yourself.
yes,
It is really, really interesting how little we believe we're capable of doing.
yeah,
How we have, and even those with us who think we have great self-esteem, we value ourselves, not too highly, like the Bible says, don't think more of yourself than you should. And we have unfortunately taken the scripture, don't think more highly of yourself than you should, and made it don't think of yourself at all.
yes.
And now through the whole concept of multi-level marketing, motivational speaking, inspirational thinking, we're bringing back in that doesn't mean that you can't think of yourself. It means to see yourself in proper relationship, proper perspective to someone else, so that you're able to grow together rather than you stunt your growth so that somebody else can grow. So I love that you said that bringing you into that multi-level marketing has now branched in to all of these other avenues, and you're literally unfolding like a beautiful flower that you are.
Oh yeah, I love that. I love that analogy. It and honestly, that's the way it feels.
Mhm.
I can't quote it exactly, but you probably know the Marianne Williamson quote: "Our greatest fear is not that we are powerless, but
That
our
we are
greatest fear is that
powerful
we're."
beyond imagination.
Yeah,
That's my interpretation of it.
yeah,
But
yeah,
she has a line in there that I love where she talks about us letting our light shine does not diminish or stop anyone from shining their own light.
yeah. And
And
honestly, I had to stand in front of a mirror and say that to myself over and over and over because I lived my whole life hiding my light under a bush,
mhm, yeah,
thinking people would say, "Well, who does she think she is?" And
say
the real
this.
question is, who do I think I am?
That is the question. That is the question. Who do we think we are? And the proper thinking of ourselves allows us to go ahead and explore and experiment and stretch. I'm taking a course called Thinking into Results, which is based on a program from Bob Proctor. And he says, what's the purpose of a goal? One of the first questions he asked in the program, what's the purpose of a goal? He says, most people will say, well, it's to get a new car, it's to get a new house, it's to accumulate more. And he says, no, the purpose of a goal is to grow. And that I just went, wow, I never thought about that.
Right.
It, a purpose of a goal is to stretch. And he says that we as human beings are goal seeking organisms. And I'd never thought about that. And then he says, look at a baby. Look at a baby. So I've developed this really bad habit. You can get sucked into the YouTube hole, and I've done that. But watching baby videos, and they start out trying to focus when they hear a voice, trying to turn in the direction of the voice. And then they begin to mimic the speaking. So they start to coo in response. So
Mm,
they are setting goals from the time they literally come out of the womb and come into the world. They're setting goals. So this whole personal growth thing, I
yeah.
love your word for last year. I love your word for this year even more. I think it's great. And mentoring goes both ways. I think you're right to I want to be mentored, but I also want to mentor somebody.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what you're saying about the goal being growth. I think it's Jim Rohn that says, it's not the goal, it's not the attainment of the goal, but focus on who you will have to become to attain it.
Mm, wow, I love listening to him. I
Yeah,
love the way he speaks. Just,
I
I,
do too.
I
I
love
do too.
it. Is so funny. Some of the stuff he says just makes me laugh.
I know. A great a great audio that he has and it's very long. It's probably like 8 hours long. It's called The Art of Exceptional Living. If you don't have that, get it, because it's not, it covers every category of life. It's, and his philosophies are just
Exceptional.
amazing and timeless, right?
Okay.
You were talking about the babies, what they, focusing on what's happening around them and taking that in, and then using it. Our daughter, our oldest, we have two grandchildren, and when they were babies, she did sign language with them, and maybe not official sign language, but she made up sign language so that she would ask them, are you done? If they were in the high chair, or there was a sign for more, or there was a sign for if they needed to be changed.
Wow.
You would not believe how much these babies could communicate,
Hmm.
and not, instead of just crying. I mean, when my kids were little, I thought they were just crying. I didn't realize they had something to
They were
say.
communicating. Those
They
cries
had
meant things.
they just couldn't verbalize it. So
Hmm.
I tell every new parent, and this is what I'm saying about mentoring. When I read, when I learn, I'm always thinking of, who can I help with this?
Hmm.
Who could use this?
Yes.
So this is what lights me up about my business, because the products that I work with, Cassandra,
Hmm.
have changed my life so much. The
Right.
business is just the business alone has changed my
Mhm.
life so much.
Now,
And
how long have you been doing this new? Now
most,
but you're in two different products, right? Or is it two
no, it's
products from the same
one
company?
it's one company. It's a nutraceutical company out of San Francisco, and we are new. We just had our 3-year anniversary,
Congratulations, happy
and
birthday.
yeah, thank you.
Now that's it. Now
And
nutraceutical is a big word. Break nutraceutical down for me.
so what we have, products that are through nutrition, good for you in different ways. So we've got a homeopathic HGH gel. It has a blanket of benefits.
Okay,
Um,
HGH is
Human growth hormone.
okay. Human growth hormone. For those of you who are uninitiated, I've seen the presentation on the product, and it really is a great product. But human growth hormone is that which makes you grow, and as we age, we produce less and less in our bodies. In fact, I believe up until about age 20, that's why you see the young kids. They've got the 6 pack, 12 pack, 24 pack, and we move to a keg. They've got the tanks for biceps, and the young girls have the wonderful curves where everything is put where it belongs. The hair, excuse me, the hair, all of that.
Hair, skin, nails.
That's human growth hormone, and that's what it's doing in your body. And as we age, we produce less and less. And at 20, somewhere between 20 and 25, we peak out,
Mhm.
and then we start to go backwards. Well, this gel is designed to help you start to grow that again so you can reverse that time clock.
Exactly. Boy, you have watched the presentation,
I
Cassandra.
did. I did.
You are good. But and this is something, it's a hot thing right now, which is why I guess I was comfortable just saying HDH, because it's a very highly sought after that treatment, but it's extremely expensive and the typical protocol is an injection. It's extremely expensive. It's between $1,200 and $2,000 a month. So it's really limited to, an exclusive clientele.
Mm.
Um,
You wonder
they
why
get
the
great
stars
benefit.
look so good all the time and don't seem to age.
Why doesn't she age? Right. Yes, exactly. So, and the other thing is, it's a shot. It's something that you need to administer to yourself daily. It's not a pleasant thing. So, this is something that our formulator developed for some friends of his that were actually in martial arts, mixed martial arts fighting, and they wanted to have a quicker recovery time
Hmm.
from their fights. It's very, demanding.
Yes.
Um, but they didn't want to get the injections. And he developed this homeopathic, this really minuscule, it's actually hormone signaling. It's not a hormone injection or replacement. It signals your adrenal gland to produce more of its own HGH.
Wow.
He sold it in this gel form, transdermal, and other people were coming in and buying it and getting all these anti-aging benefits. So he's been selling it for a little over 20 years now in his nutritional store in San Francisco.
So it has a
And
tremendous track record with 20 years.
yes, exactly, exactly. In that time, he ended up having to get it FDA registered because the FDA came in and said, "Hey, wait a minute, that's HGH. You can't sell that." So he had to get it registered, which is a good thing for us. I mean, for
Hmm.
me to be able to promote a product that is FDA registered,
Yes.
has a CDC number. I mean, that's huge.
That really
So
legitimizes it as a
exactly,
true benefit. Because to
yes,
get that FDA designation, it had to go through several testing rounds.
exactly,
The CDC had to make sure that it wasn't harmful, that it didn't go in and do the reverse of what he claimed it would do.
right,
So,
yes,
and
exactly, and
it
and
didn't come
and
through a
to
rush
boot.
process.
And they don't register something that doesn't work.
Right, right. It has to be efficacious.
Yep.
It has
Yep.
to do what it says it can do. A lot of times, and let me plug back in here. If you're just joining in, this is Cassandra, Dr. K. Brown. This is Talk to Tuesday Conversation with the Tilted Fedora trainer, got the hat, and my good friend Peg Tucker. And right now, as you're coming in or as you catch this on the replay, we're talking about a product that Peg sells and uses through a multi-level marketing platform that is a nutraceutical product. It uses nutrition to heal the body as opposed to pharmaceutical, which uses man-made medicines. So operating in your body in concert with your body to get your body to do what it knows how to do naturally, but may not do due to extenuating circumstances like aging.
I'm
So
gonna
this
hire
product,
I'm gonna hire you, Cassandra.
this product assists with getting your body to produce human growth hormone. And we've been talking about how expensive using human growth hormone is. She just said it's anywhere between $1,500 and $2,000 a month to get the shots. But this is not a shot, it's a gel. And we haven't talked about the price, but I promise you, it's nowhere near $1,500 to $2,000, and you don't have to give yourself a shot.
Well, and this is the thing, Cassandra. It is safe and it's effective and it's affordable.
Mm,
You know, um,
can't beat that. That's a trifecta.
yeah, and the blanket of benefits. I mean, I'm gonna try and come up with my picture to show you. And this picture, I'm going to tell you, it shows what has happened to me on the outside, but for me, my huge benefits are on the inside. Let me see
Mhm.
if I can turn my. Can you see that?
Yes, I can. Wow. Your face is really slimmed down.
Well, and
And
it's
the
inflammation.
area is called the parrots, that parrot area, that
Yeah.
marking around your upper lip is really that's trimmed down. Wow.
So
Your
it's
skin is radiant.
there's only a few pounds of weight loss on that product. And it's not a topical face product. A lot of people look at it and they're like, oh no, I have skincare that I like, I'm good.
Mm,
It's not skincare at all. Actually, you put it on your wrist and it comes in, this is a bottle, comes in a bottle like that. You do 2 pumps in the morning, and I already did mine this morning,
mhm.
and 2 pumps in the evening, right on your wrist. You apply it, you rub it in like that. Takes about 30 seconds to rub it in, and you're done.
And it's
So
not
it's
greasy
easy.
or leaving some kind of a heavy residue.
No, it's a gel. And actually, if anybody would like, they can put it in the comment. I can send them a sample of it so they could get to feel it. You,
Mhm.
it's not something that works overnight. It takes typically 4 to 6 weeks for people to really start feeling anything significant.
Mhm.
But for me, and I think I've told you this before, I had for 16 years back issues that were life changing for me. I had
Mm.
been in a car accident, got whiplashed when I was in high school. It didn't manifest until years later.
Yep.
But I would move like this, and I would I
Wow.
would I would pick my head up off the pillow in the morning like this.
Wow.
It was excruciating, and it was with me all day, every day.
Mm. And
Um,
this has dealt with that.
I don't take anything anymore. It's gone.
That's a better wow than the wow I gave before. Oh my.
That's that's my big wow, honestly, because that's been life-changing for me. I also just feel my mood is so much better. I had undiagnosed anxiety all my life. I didn't realize how bad that was until that left me.
Mm,
So balancing your hormones just does so much. Just, you know, mental clarity, trimmer around the middle. It's not a weight loss, like I said, but it helps you to, you know, get more muscle definition. Muscle burns fat,
yeah.
you know. And we've got other products too, but what I, you know, when I really sidetracked into the product more than I intended to. But what I wanted to say is, because it's been so life changing for me, the product and the business, I get so fired up every morning, because when I
Mm,
wake up, what fills my heart is that I can make a phone call today that can help someone make a decision that can change their life.
wow. That's a reason to wake up in the morning. To know that by the end of the day, going into the next day, I've done good to somebody. I've served somebody. And
Exactly.
imagining someone in significant pain for those years purchasing this product. Now, remember, the one thing about nutraceutical products is, because they work in concert with the body, they take a little longer to work. And some people will say, I took it and it didn't do anything. It's not that it didn't do anything. You didn't get into the position you were in overnight.
Exactly. We didn't age overnight. Thank God.
Solve the problem overnight. When we take the big pharmaceutical drugs, they are designed to alleviate symptoms. You have a headache, you take some aspirin, it gets rid of the pain of the headache, but it doesn't necessarily get rid of the cause of the headache. And if you don't deal with the root, the problem will return. You're
Yeah.
just waiting until the next time you take some medicine. I had
Yeah.
that same issue with my knees, and I had a cocktail that should have destroyed my liver a long time ago, of medicines that I would take so that I could walk every day. As my
And
knees were deteriorating due to arthritis and the cartilage was torn, I was taking 2 BC powders, which was 1,000 milligrams of aspirin, with 8 ibuprofens.
yeah.
That was
Okay.
my morning cocktail to get through work until my knees got replaced.
I completely hear you, because I hate recalling how much ibuprofen I was gobbling.
Hmm.
I mean, I was probably going through a big bottle of ibuprofen as fast as I was going through a multivitamin.
Yep. I
My
know
my
exactly how that feels.
But I had to. I knew what it was, probably the potential, what it was doing to my liver, what it was doing to the rest of my body. But I needed it to get through the day, and it
Mhm.
only took the edge off. It didn't take it
Yeah.
away. It
Yeah.
only, it only took the edge off. So
Yeah.
for me now, to not have that has really been life changing. But that's what it's done for me. There's so many things that it's done. I mean, I've got for me to get messages all the time from people of things that they are able to do now, and how it
Wow.
has changed their life. That is so rewarding.
Wow.
Have there, and even younger people, they're, in their 30s. I'm just enjoying I'm losing weight, my waistline's trimming down. I'm so enjoying the great sleep that I'm getting. You know how many people
Mm.
just don't get a good night's sleep,
Yep.
and are taking things that they wake up and they're groggy in the morning? That's one of the biggest things that this product does do across the board for everyone. Is that's the first thing people notice, is they sleep sound. Like,
Literally, you sleep like a baby.
yes, like I always say, like when I was in high school,
Hmm.
I was out, you know, and then wake up in the morning, like, okay, you
Let's
know,
go.
yeah,
That wouldn't it? Just think about how great it would be to wake up feeling like a kid again, with the wisdom and information that you have now, and the energy that you had then. You
right,
become unstoppable.
yeah.
That's phenomenal. That is exciting. When we get done with this live, I would love for you to go back into the comments and to put in your link and all of your information. In fact, go ahead and say that now. How can people get in touch with you?
Well, you know what? If they want to just find me on Facebook, I've got a link tree in my bio, and all of the links are in there. But I can put that in the comments as well. So they can just find me, Peg Tucker. Actually, I'm tagged in this, right? They can just find me on Facebook. That's probably the best way. They can direct message me there. or just leave a link here and I'll connect with them. Or just leave a comment here and I can connect with them. But yeah, I mean, this is something that to me to be able to share. And also, Cassandra, I am still I've got people that I'm working with that I have sponsored into the business, that other people have brought in, that are able to do this full time and work
Wow.
from home. So for people to be able to work from home right now, I'm working from home, that is, a lot of people miss being out, but some people, aren't comfortable being out, or lost their job.
Yeah.
So people need this more than ever right now.
Wow.
And that's another thing. When I say, when I wake up in the morning, I can, help someone to make a decision to change their life. I mean, I've people's lives are changing all over our organization
That's
financially.
that's marvelous. So
And
not only are you helping people in terms of really restoring health, that is phenomenal. And then you moving into, not only am I helping them in terms of their health, but helping them in terms of their wealth. Now,
exactly.
there are, Bob Proctor talks about two H's and a W, and it's health, happiness, and wealth. He says if you can handle health and you can handle wealth, happiness is pretty much guaranteed.
Yes. Yep. Well, it's an inside job too, but you can have a lot of wealth and not have happiness because you don't have the time. You don't
Mm,
have time freedom.
you don't have,
So if you don't have time with your family, that's a big thing. That's why a lot of people get into this industry, because they don't want to be at a job 9 to 5 and miss their kids' soccer games, and or moms missing their kids' first steps. Oh, I was really lucky to not have missed that, but I can't imagine that. Just, and for parents right now, my respect goes out to them 100%, trying
mm,
to juggle what they juggle in their workplace and handling kids that are learning from home.
wow. Yeah, I'm glad. I am glad that I'm not a parent during COVID. And I enjoyed being with my children. I loved hanging out with my sons. I had the wonderful privilege of staying home with my youngest. I have four sons, youngest two sons, until they went into, I think the youngest was in the third grade by the time I went back out to work. So I really had a good time watching them grow up. And but I'm glad during COVID
Me
that
too.
I'm done with that. But I heard you say something that was really significant, and I want to go back and touch on that for our listeners, and that is having the time freedom, and not having to. We talked about being at a job 8 hours a day, 2 hours a day, getting back and forth, because most commutes due to traffic end up being 30 to 45 minutes, and just missing, that's a big chunk of life.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
having that freedom is significant. That's extremely important. And one other thing I wanted to add as I was thinking about it, we didn't discuss the actual cost, and I don't know if you want to discuss the cost now.
Sure. Sure.
That
So
would be a good place, because somebody is, when they hear this, and I'm unfortunately I don't see anybody listening in live, but I do know that this is a popular program. I shy away from calling it a podcast because it's not as regular as a podcast. But I have been getting a lot of views. Thank you. People who actually tune in and catch the replays. I'm loving that because I get
awesome.
to see you and see the comments. So talk about the cost, because somebody may hear that 1,500 to 2,000 and go, well, that's nowhere near my budget. That's my rent.
This works out to be about $5 a day.
Wow.
Yeah, but I think with shipping to your door, it comes out to be about $5.20 a day.
Mm,
So, when I think about the things that I used to, I'm ashamed to say, because I've always been really careful about what I put in my body, but there were times that I was just so depleted, I leaned on an energy drink,
mm,
or a sugary, fatty Starbucks, or you know,
mm-hmm.
I mean,
The
you're
caramel
talking,
lattes add a lot of calories.
and you're talking $5.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are other things like, so many women and get their gel on their nails because their nails won't grow anymore. My nails are healthy like they were when I was in high school now.
Mm.
My hair is healthier. I don't need to get treatments to hydrate it. My face, I'm actually not using an expensive skincare product because my
Hmm.
face has my complexion has gotten better.
Yes.
There's things. And the other part of it too, if you're like me, I was a few times a month at least, either at the chiropractor or the
Mm.
acupuncturist, massage therapy, and those things, even if you're just paying a copay, that adds up.
Yeah. If
So
you're
all these
thinking
things,
once a week, that's on an average copay for a specialist. If you have the large, really good insurance, it's $35 a visit.
yes,
So think if you're doing one or two of those visits a week,
exactly. And
there's your
if
budget.
I even take into, it's funny because I didn't realize how much time I was spending trying to find something that would help me. I
Mm.
mean, my time,
Yes.
just my mental time, just wishing I could find something. So when my friend introduced me to this, I thought, well, I'll try it. Um, I did. I thought, well, if I did the business, that would go towards what I was paying for the product, and that was really, I was looking for something to have some extra income at the time, so I did jump right into the business. And I thought, well, maybe it'll help me feel a little better. I had idea,
Mm.
no idea that I could feel this good.
And now you've got this thriving business to boot.
Yes, yeah,
That's marvelous.
and it wasn't, I like being an entrepreneur. I
Hmm.
like working for myself. I like setting my own limits.
Hmm.
I owned a business. I owned a store for 23 years, and that that business in the end, Cassandra, was strangling me.
Mm.
It was suffocating me because people had changed. Every brick and mortar business is, as Les says, it's going from brick and mortar to click and order, right?
Hmm.
So people started ordering online, and people weren't coming in my door, and I was still paying several $1,000s a month rent. You
Wow.
know,
What kind of store
so
did you have?
it was an upscale clothing consignment for men and women.
Okay.
Um, and it wasn't designer, but it
Hmm.
was better, better things. I didn't take things that most department stores carried. I carried more the off brands. And everything in my store was like $12, $15. I mean, it was really reasonable. And I loved that. I love being able to help people to make a nice outfit if they had to, if they had an event to go to or a
Hmm.
first date. And I mean, ended up making so many friends. I felt like I was a bar owner at Cheers, you know.
Wonderful is that?
But it really was. So I miss that part of it, but I don't miss the part of trying to of waking up in the middle of the night thinking, how am I going to pay the rent this month? When things started to change to virtual shopping, and it took a couple of years, and then the last year it just tanked, and that hurt me in my heart, in my head. I went into
Mm.
a very dark place emotionally, and thankfully, my good friend Troy Landwehr introduced me to this. Um, and 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 when I started doing it, I didn't expect a lot. It just built very quickly.
Mm.
And now my life is completely different. I
Awesome.
mean, exponentially better. So, if anyone is talking to anyone out there, if anyone's talking to you about doing a business for yourself, whether it's mine or someone else's, it's because they care about you. It's because they have you on their heart, and they know what it can do. So just be open.
And entrepreneurship is, I know not everybody is an entrepreneur, but for those of us who are, it is the greatest life. There's a lot of adventure because, yep, you do have some of those nights where you wake up and go, where is this coming from? Where is that coming from? But one of the great things about life and stepping out on faith is that somehow it shows up. Somehow it shows up. You mentioned attracting to yourself new people and quality people, a higher level of people. And that happens literally as you step into this new world. you begin to meet the people who are in this world.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's the really, really wonderful thing about it. Hey, y'all, let me do another station ID check. This is Cassandra, Dr. K. Brown, the Tilted Fedora Trainer. Welcome to Talk to Tuesday. I'm having a friendly conversation with my new best buddy on the internet, Peg Tucker. Peg, where do you live?
I live in Plattsburgh, New York. We're just a half an hour south of the Canadian border.
Wow, she's in upstate New York. I'm deep in the heart of Texas. I'm in Duncanville, just outside of Dallas. The internet has made this world so small. And I'm so grateful to say I found the friendly parts. I've found I've found some very friendly communities. And Peg and I connected in the Power Voice community, and we've been chatting back and forth ever since.
Yeah.
So that's been wonderful. Peg's been telling us about a product a business that she now owns that is flourishing, and she's able to help people literally renew their youth, renew their strength with a product that increases the human growth hormone in your body. When we're done with this live, she's going to put her contact information in the comment so that anyone who catches the replay is able to reach out to her. Imagine living with no pain.
Oh,
Imagine that. If you've been in chronic pain, I couldn't imagine life without these new needs that I have. But how much nicer would it have been to have my body recreate the needs than to
I,
have
I
place?
I do have to say this is my experience. It does different things for everyone, honestly, and I've seen that across the board, Cassandra. It really it focuses on what it is that has been deteriorating for you.
Mhm.
You know, it renews, it helps your body to heal what needs to be healed.
And to heal it naturally.
Hmm.
That's phenomenal. I want to make a pivot now because I know you're also a life and business coach.
I
So let's
am.
talk
So
about what that entails, because everybody, that seems to be the new craze now. Is I was on Facebook the other day and there was a blurb: get your life coach license, become a certified life coach, $49.99. Become, and there were 3 or 4 different companies doing this.
wow.
So it's the new buzzword is
Yeah.
life coach.
Yeah. So I'm actually working with a coach. His name is Peter Bassetto, and his business is Active Choices Coaching. And the way that I connected with him, I actually it was through my network marketing business. My someone who's a mentor of mine connected me with Peter. I ended up going on a retreat, that a small retreat. It was his initial one,
Mhm.
and I, I just was so intrigued by what he was doing that I connected with him afterwards. And I asked him, I said, do you think I could ever do this? And he was like, oh my God, I'm just was thinking of you. I'm going to start teaching a course and I would love for you to be part of it and then take over teaching it. So, the funny thing is the course was on the first chapter of his book. His book is called Active Choices. And the first chapter is called Choose You.
Mm.
And so here's what happened for me. The way my perspective was then, when I first read the first chapter called Choose You, I thought, okay, this chapter isn't for me. because because I'll read the next chapter because I can't choose me. I can't. I don't have
Mm.
time. I don't have time. So so in working with him, I came to learn and understand that choosing myself was the most generous thing that I could do for everyone else in my world,
Mhm.
because learning to put on my face mask before I tried to serve someone else, I was literally trying to serve water from an empty well, because
Mm.
I was running myself ragged.
That is so
And
significant.
yeah, and learning this theory, this philosophy has changed everything for me.
Wow.
I mean, it also helps me to share with people that by using something like the gel, or I mean, we have other products that I didn't get into. We've got a brain health product that I just absolutely love. By using things like that, you're giving a gift to your
Mm.
children of a youthful you, of a you that's happy and healthy and feeling well. I mean, I know people who have a history of cognitive problems in their family. I mean, that would be my worst nightmare, Cassandra, is to have my children visit me someday and me
Mm,
not recognize them.
and not know their names. That
Yeah,
is so tragic. And
yeah.
imagine, not is it just tragic at in that circumstance, the individual doesn't know, but how tragic it is for the children to come and see you and say mom, and you ask them who they are. how
Are you? Yeah,
how tragic is that?
yeah.
But to have something that will, and that's a big industry now with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's and other degenerative neurodegenerative diseases.
Yes.
That is such a major need. And with the aging of the population, I'm the last year of the baby boomers.
Right.
So people are coming into that retirement life at the last calculation I heard was something like 10,000 a month,
Hmm.
going into retirement, going into true senior citizenhood, not by virtue of AARP, but by virtue of Medicare.
Yeah.
Because I still say that's the determiner of when I'm a senior citizen. When I get that Medicare card, that's it. It's official. I'm a senior citizen.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's one of the major concerns because we're now, thank God for the medicines and the nutritional understanding, we're aging at a much slower pace. So
Yes.
people at 65 are not dying at 70 and 75. They're living and enjoying life well into the 80s and 90s and hundreds.
Yeah.
So products like what you are offering are tremendous for that. But
Yeah.
let's go. I
I
digress.
want to give that gift to my family of a healthy grandma, great grandma, I want to be at that time. I want when it's my time to go, I want to be climbing up a mountain, not sliding down one.
That's a great reference. That's a great reference. I want to be on my way up.
Yeah, exactly.
While you're on the
Exactly. So,
mountaintop, just lead. That works.
yeah.
That works.
So,
Go back to the life coaching though. I really love that concept of choosing you, understanding. I love the empty well analogy. That
yeah.
one of my friends would say, wait a minute, that's a Selah moment. She said, let's just think about that for a moment.
Yeah.
Are you trying to draw water for someone else from an empty well? So not only do you're not benefiting, the person you want to help most is not benefiting.
Right. Yeah.
That
And it's funny. The funny thing is that if your people in your world are not used to you choosing you, you'll meet some because
say that again.
they're
It
like,
froze
well,
on
wait a
my
minute,
end.
what about me?
It froze on my end. Do me a favor
Oh,
and
I
say
was
that
saying,
again.
sure, if the people in your world are not used to you choosing you, when you begin on that path, you'll meet some resistance.
Yes. Yes.
Um, you really need to push through because getting to the other side, they will see a different you.
Yeah. And they'll
It'll,
realize then that it's better for them to
oh yeah,
have you healthy and happy and waking up energetic, embracing the new day and saying,
exactly.
good God, I'm alive, rather than good God, I'm alive.
Exactly. Exactly. So if anyone is interested in, I'm actually participating in a Choose You course right now. And we're going to be doing another one coming up in the middle of February. So drop a comment if you're interested in hearing more about Choose You. I can definitely get you a link to that. Um, and we do it, on a platform like this. And honestly, talking about to go back to hiding your light. When I first started coaching with Peter, it was in a platform like this, and there was probably about 20 of us on a Zoom. It was
Mhm.
my first experience with Zoom, and I got on and I saw my face, and I was like, how do I get my camera? How do I get my flipped me right out. But what's really cool about this is that I can work with people on this platform, like as you were saying, you're able to right now,
Mhm.
and reach people all around the world.
Yeah.
And for me, even the thought of teaching a class 2 years ago was like, oh, I would get a pit in my heart would be in my chest, and my heart would start racing, and my brain would shut down. And to be able to do this on this platform and reach so many people, all around the world. That's the thing that this platform was here before. But now, because of, one of the silver linings of this year is everyone's doing it. My husband just got home. He's got a meeting with his office right now, that he's about to jump onto on a Zoom call.
Mhm.
You can do it with clients, you can do it with friends. We had Thanksgiving dinner with our family on a Zoom call,
I
So
did I did a Zoom call for my birthday celebration in September of last year.
yeah,
I called it a sip and celebrate, and 20 good friends showed up, and we drank. I had 5 different beverages. They told me what they were drinking. They wished me a toast using that beverage. It was such a fun way to celebrate that day, and I'm used to celebrating my birthday. So it was a great way to handle the celebration. I had a
that's
ball.
right.
So this
That's
platform, it really is, it's connecting us from all over the world. I mean, now you're able to impact people not only, well, look at this. You're in New York, upstate New York. I'm down here in Texas.
well,
And we're literally talking like we're next door to each other, and on the screen we really are.
yeah, absolutely. And we miss those personal interactions. We miss those hugs for sure.
Mhm.
But this allows us, to be able to see people's faces and
Yes.
get to know
Yes.
people that really we may have never gotten to know.
That's it. It's really expanded our worlds in such a wonderful way, or collapsed the world in such a wonderful way. Because it really is now a small world. And you can impact people not only in the US, but you now have a reach that goes into Europe, goes into Australia, goes into India, into other continents, because as the classes are advertised and the information for the classes is put out there, people from anywhere can see them and respond. I've connected with a couple of pastors in Pakistan because
Oh,
of
that's awesome.
Facebook. And that's really been a fun experience. That's really been a fun experience. So for the program that you're life coaching, what's the name of the entire program? And then do you teach any other sections besides Choose You?
Not right now. Actually, we just finished up a momentum course. So getting momentum in your business. But I will, yeah, if they want to connect, I'll connect them with our group is called Active Choices Nation. They can just hop right in there. That's a Facebook group. They can just ask to join, and then they'll be notified when courses are coming up and they're posted in there.
Okay, I'll check that out. Active Choices Nation.
Nation. Yep.
It sounds, I just love the idea of teaching people to choose themselves, and the concept of when you're on an airplane and the stewardess says, put the oxygen mask on you first. Because if you pass out, you can't put it on anybody else.
Exactly. Exactly. You're no
So,
good to anyone else if you don't take care of yourself. And you also even like moms that are I mean, yes, you have to put your kids first to some extent, but you've got to put yourself up there too, because you don't want your kids to never really know the best version of you, because the
yes.
best version of you was before they were born.
Wow, that hit home. I have 2 sets of sons. I have an older set and a younger set. And I can't tell you the number of times that the older set told the younger set, you should have been born 10 years ago when mom was fun. You should have been born 10 years ago. Mom would go bicycling. We would go hiking. The only thing I wouldn't do was camping. But if we could find a trail through the woods, let's go walk the trail. Bike, let's hit the road. Let's my and my youngest, my son Josh would tell my other sons, boy, you guys, I know she's fun, I know she's crazy, she does like to do things, but when she was young, we were outside every day together.
Oh,
So I really know that feeling.
yeah, yeah.
So that just really, I'm like, ooh, ooh. So I'm have to try this product because I want to I'm challenging my sons this year to give me somebody to give me a grandchild. And I've been telling them I want the grandbaby while I'm old, while I'm movable enough, pliable enough, able to get on the floor and play with the grandchild and then get back up under my own power.
I used to never be able to go when I would, if my kids had trips or if we went to a theme park, I could never go on the roller coaster because I couldn't take that chance with how much,
Yeah.
I mean, I had herniated discs, right?
Hmm.
And you know, along with suffering from it. So I couldn't do it. And I used to love roller coasters when I was younger. So now I can't wait till my grandkids are tall enough to go on a roller coaster because I can't wait to do a roller coaster. I mean, I all these things that I can embrace again. I mean, I just get to embrace more fully,
Yeah.
you know, and not having the burden and the stress of the business that, you know, I had to pay rent for, I had to pay, you know, all the utilities and
Hmm.
stock and taxes, you know, all of that, accountants and to not have that and now have my daughter and I just did some running around right before Christmas, and we were just running errands. And I remember we just had such a good time laughing, and I realized that years prior, I had so much stress because I was wondering, because I couldn't take anything out of my business, Cassandra. I couldn't take a check for myself. And so I did a small business on the side, and another direct sales skincare business to give myself a little money. And I didn't, you know, I very moderate success with that. But to every time I handed my credit card over to wonder, have I got enough on there? Is that which card should I use? You know,
Mm. Wow. Yep.
that stress to now just be out with her and running around and knowing that, yeah, we can drop money here and drop money there, and you know, I mean, we didn't go crazy, but
Right. You do. Yeah, but you still want to have that freedom. If I feel like buying something, I want to be able to buy it and not worry about what bill is not going to get paid. What am I going to have to do to make up for this? And it's not always about what you want. Sometimes it's about what you need. I
I
need
mean,
these two, and I've got to choose one over the other.
yeah,
That so I can understand what that I can identify with what that feels like
yeah,
because
yeah.
that's real.
It's yeah, it's not money's, as they say, money's not everything, but it's the lack of it is significant.
Yeah. And well, that's that phrase that says money doesn't make the world go round, but it sure does grease the axles.
Yes, exactly. And it gives you options. I mean, you can, you know, it's very hard. It's hard to give to the poor when you're one of them, right? It's,
Yes,
you
it
know,
is. It is.
so, you know, it having options. And one of the things my coach, Peter Passetto, says is if you have the ability to make money, you have the obligation to do it because there are those that can't.
Wow. Now that is a significant, that's a wonderful place to close.
Yep.
That's we've used our hour. That is a wonderful, wonderful place to close. Would you repeat that? And then I'm going to give my last station identification and we'll bring this plane in. But repeat that. That's a great statement.
So I want to acknowledge Peter Passetto for this. I believe it was his quote. If you have the ability to make money, you have the obligation to do it because there are people who cannot, that you can help.
And you can't help them if you don't have it.
Yep.
So, for anybody who wants to get in touch with Peg Tucker, you can look her up on Facebook to find out about this fabulous product that she endorses, that she uses, and with which she changes lives. Reach out to her, and they have more than one product. We talked about that one pretty much extensively, the human growth hormone gel, but they do have other products that will change your life. And I thought about what she said. I can do math relatively quickly. When she said fit $5 a day, I did the monthly math and went, ooh, well. But when you think about it, there are medicines that cost more than that.
Oh yeah.
And every medicine that you see advertised on TV has a list of side effects, and none of them
Exactly.
are positive.
And like I said, when I think of the things that I'm not spending money on, I'm actually saving.
You're saving money. Yeah. And you're getting all that time back.
Yeah.
So please reach out to Peg. Also join that group. What's the name of the group?
Active Choices Nation.
Active Choices Nation, so that you can get notified when they offer their classes again and you can get involved in that because it's all about improving lives. It's about growth. And growth in your person will equal growth in every other aspect of your life. All right, this is Cassandra, Dr. K. Brown, the Tilted Fedora Trainer, thanking you for listening in and saying goodbye. Here's your kiss. There's your smile. Peg, thank you for being on. I've really enjoyed our conversation.
It's been an honor. Thank you.
You are welcome. All right, y'all. Bye bye.